morning comes according to John chapter 12, beginning at verse 20. Now among those who went up to worship at the festival were some Greeks. They came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, and said to him, "Sir, we wish to see Jesus." Philip went and told Andrew. Then Andrew and Philip went and told Jesus. Jesus answered them, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Very truly I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains just a single grain. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Those who love their life lose it, and those who hate their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. Whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, there will my servant be also. Whoever serves me, the Father will honor. Now my soul is troubled, and what should I say? Father, save me from this hour? No, it is for this reason that I have come to this hour. Father, glorify your name." Then a voice came from heaven, "I have glorified it, and I will glorify it again." The crowd standing there heard it and said that it was thunder. Others said, "An angel has spoken to him." Jesus answered, "This voice came for your sake, not for mine. Now is the judgment of this world. Now the ruler of this world will be driven out. And I, when I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all people to myself." He said this to indicate the kind of death he was to die. The word of the Lord. When I was a camp director down in Florida, we had to call the Fish and Wildlife Commission one summer to come remove an alligator. Now, typically alligators were no problem. They are very shy. They have no interest in humans. But this one had taken to hanging around even when people were nearby. He'd go tubing by and it'd be up there on the bank. It's a little disconcerting to see a gator that close. Well, the Wildlife Commission responded and sent out Alligator Bob. That was what it said on his card, Alligator Bob. About, medium height, 40s, kind of, insurance salesman. He was Alligator Bob. And he came and he set a trap for this gator. And I say that loosely. The trap consisted of a meat hook kind of thing, about a great big old hook with a piece of rancid meat on it that he tied to a rope and tied to a tree. And he hung that over the river. Lori and I were charged with going twice a day, in the morning and the evening, on the gator's feed and checking the trap. Well, after a couple of weeks, we went down, and sure enough, the trap was gone. And the line was pulled taut. And we looked in the water. Now, the water is on a cypress tree, and cypress trees release tannic acid, and they turn the rivers brown. That's a tea color. And if you stick your arm in the water down to your elbow, you won't be able to see your hand. So we could see the line going down. We couldn't see what was on the other end, and we went and called Alligator Bob real fast. And he came out that morning, but there was a problem. You see, the line had been stretched around the cypress tree and got knots. Now, if you're familiar with a cypress tree, they grow in the water, and they grow their roots up like knots, just straight up like that, about that size, up above the water, come to a point, a little knobby point. They're all dotted all around this tree on the other side. Well, the rope had gotten tangled all around there. Well, Alligator Bob walked out on top of those cypress knots, reached down, grabbed that rope, and pulled it up, and sure enough, there was a live gator on the end. He let it back down, and then he proceeded, balancing himself on those knots, to reach down in that water and untangle that rope. Did I mention that there was a live alligator with a fish hook in his mouth, very angry alligator, just beneath the surface? He untangled that rope, and those of us who came out to watch up on the bank, our collective awe of Alligator Bob at this point knew no bounds. And he lifted that gator, after he got the rope untangled, he lifted that gator back up, took another rope, somehow got it around his neck, threaded it form a noose to pull tight so he could pull the gator out of the river without pulling on the hook. But there was another problem. Florida rivers are famous for very high banks. Like I said, we were up 15 feet up above Bob on that bank. Hey, no crazy, no. He needed help getting the gator out of the water. Well, guess who got the help? Yeah. Lori faked that old war injury again. So I got to go down that bank and get on the end of that rope behind Alligator Bob. And together, the two of us pulled that alligator out of the river all the way up that bank onto the path. Now, at this point, I'm okay. I'm all right. This is me. There's Alligator Bob between me and the gator, right? And, you know, Alligator Bob was kind of a beefy guy. I figured by the time the gator finished eating him, I'd be halfway to Tampa, so I'm good. But then life took one of those unexpected turns, unforeseen events. Bob let go of the rope. He walked away and he said, "Oh, don't let go of that rope or the gator will charge. As long as you pull, he'll pull back." At that point, my collective awe of Alligator Bob took a real hit right then. Let me tell you, but I held on. I held on for dear life. Because I just knew if I let go of that rope, something terrible was going to happen. Quite a predicament, isn't it? Yet we're all in the same situation. We have all been told that we have to hold on. We have to hold on for dear life. If we don't, something terrible will happen. So we hold on. We hold on to all the wrongs that have been done to us in life. We hold on to all that shame and guilt that others have laid on us. We hold on to our material possessions as if they can save us. We hold on to the past because we are afraid to let go, afraid that the future only holds decay and destruction. We hold on to our life as if our time on earth was the only life we had to live. We hold on to our anxieties as if they were attached to an alligator. And then if we let go, they would charge us. And we cry out, "Father, save us from this hour." Today, however, we hear something different. Today we are shown another way. Today we can say together, "Father, glorify your name." If we only heed these two words, let go. This, of course, is the work that Jesus has accomplished. Christ has shown the church how to let go. He showed the church how to trust the Father and act on the principles of our faith and not succumb to our fears. He has shown us how to let go of our anxieties and not allow them to lord it over us. Jesus has shown us how to let go, but the question still obtains: when? When do we let go? Well, there's a simple test. if there is a real live alligator with about 10 feet from you on the other end of that rope, you hang on. I've been there. You hang on. Yeah, and you hang on tight. But in almost every other circumstance that life can hand you, let go. Let go now and be free. Doesn't that sound wonderful? You and I can be free to let go of our grudges and forgive. Free that they no longer have to eat away at us. Free to put aside the guilt and shame that others try to lay on us. Free to enjoy sharing and giving away God's material blessings rather than hoarding them for ourselves. Free to let go of the past and embrace change and the future, because whatever else the future holds, it promises the return of Jesus Christ and life in the realm of God. So Christ has shown the church how to let go. The time to do so is now. But what about everyone else who is depending on us to hold on? We don't want to disappoint others, do we? We are responsible people. We don't want to let them down. The writer Edwin Friedman tells a story called The Bridge in his book Friedman's Fables. Now, in this parable, a man is walking across a dream. He is going to try to follow his dream. Halfway across, he meets a person who asks him to hold the end of a rope. Well, the man, taken aback, well, this is fine. He takes the rope, and the person ties the other end around himself and jumps off the bridge. The man was left desperately holding on to this rope with the person dangling off the other end off the bridge. And the man called to the person to climb up the rope while he held on. The person refused and told the man that if he lets go, he will be lost. The man looked around, but there was no one on the bridge to help. There was no place to tie the rope. Again, the man called down to the person with a plan to save him, but the person only said, "I am your responsibility, and you must hang on, or I will be lost." The man was soon beside himself with anxiety, and the opportunity to fulfill his dream across the bridge was slipping away. Again, the person repeated to the man, "I am your responsibility." At this point, though, the man said, "No. No, I am not responsible for your life. The choice to live is yours." The person responded, "You can't be that selfish. You must hold on to save me." The man replied, "No. You must decide what you will do. If you cooperate, I can help pull you up. Otherwise, I will free my hands of this rope." The person gave no response. So the man said, "I accept your decision." He let go. Friends, you and I are called to trust the Messiah, not be the Messiah. We cannot save the world. Only Christ can. We can help one another, but in the end, only Christ can save. We have a responsibility to other people to help when we can, to share the gospel in word and deed, and to tell the truth in love. But ultimately, you can only be responsible for yourself. You don't have to make everything all better. You can let go and trust in God's providential care for others, in the same way, you let go of your own fears out of trust in God's love of Christ for you. You can let go and say, Father, glorify your name. Let all God's people say,